Don't try this at home. Generations of WWE created ads have warned us, careers ended in an instant, etc. But also, look how cool this Swanton bomb is! Whee! It's a dangerous business, this wrestling lark. I've only ever taken a plate of chops from people who have what's charitably known as journalist strength, and I felt like my chest was about to cave in, which is why I'll be good and goddamned if I'm taking any of these moves that could actually turn one of our videos into a snuff film. You'd still watch, you craven hyenas. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 wrestling moves that could legit kill you. Number 10, the Coup de Gras. This diving stomp from the top rope, which has been done by Spike Dudley to Low-Ki to Finn Balor, according to Shinsuke Nakamura, taking it is like being stabbed in the chest, and that's from a man so tough it makes me grow a fisherman's beard just saying his name. If Balor hit his opponents with a bit more than almost no force at all, he could shatter their sternum or the rib cage, home to our best friends, the hearts and lungs. Sternum fractures cause death 45% of the time, and that's not even taking into account the fact you don't need to break anything to die from a massive blow to the chest. See, commotio cordis is what happens when you get hit directly above the heart, and the shockwave of it causes the heart to just go, nope, f*** that, and f*** you, and then just stop beating. Terrifying. Number 9, the vertebrae. Not only is this move a ball ache to set up, but it's a head, neck, and spine ache to take. No matter what you do with your head, you're in for a messy little time. Lean your head back, which feels natural in this position, and you land smash on your face, slamming your head and neck back. Keep rigid and you compress your neck, which is the opposite of a picnic. And even when you do what you're supposed to and lean your head forward, you're landing right on top of where your neck meets your head and your spine. So no thank you. Number 8, shattered dreams. Now let's make one thing very clear. The idea of someone taking a running punt at my flobberdobbers makes me upset with a totality that I find hard to express. This noise best sums it up. No, away from my tots! But, my fellow gentlemen of YouTube, did you know that you can actually die from a Naja smash? This is a page from an 1843 medical journal, ladies, that describes a barbaric German custom of, quote, in case of quarrel, violently compressing the testicles, which apparently can lead to violent convulsions and death within minutes. Your brain overreacts to trauma to the vagus nerve, and shuts down because life cannot possibly ever get better after a running chump to the cod meat. Number 7, the bonsai drop. Take what we said about the coup de gras, but change a 190-pound Irishman to a 600-plus pound Samoan. If he lands that even slightly wrong, not taking all of the impact on his legs, then you'll have not just a rib cage that's medically classified as mate, but after all, Yokozuna tended to land the drop dangerously near his opponent's neck, a crushed larynx can obstruct your airways, and if anything tears, blood can start to fill the lungs. Plus, of all the ways to die, a fat guy sitting on you. If that happens to me, lie to my mother and tell her I died doing something more dignified, like erotic asphyxiation. Number 6, the curb stomp. You shouldn't have to be a professor to know that jumping on a man's head and crunching it into the floor is a bad thing, which is one of the reasons why it had to be banned. If anyone tried this at home, that's 100% murder. Even if you wouldn't die from blunt head and face trauma, then there's always a risk of cervical dislocation, aka the spinal column taking a holiday from the head, aka dead forever. Sure, Seth did it perfectly fine, but one bad time in the playground and that is a million lawsuits waiting to happen. Number 5, the elevated DDT. The DDT is a devastating move that has been neutered by overuse. When Jake the Snake Roberts brought his opponent's head crashing down to the floor with all his weight, that was it. Lights out, KO, 1, 2, 3. Nowadays, a tornado DDT doesn't even put someone down for a 2 count, but hey ho, that's progress. In terms of a head-to-floor express delivery system, few would be as actually fatal as Randy Orton's elevated DDT. There's no way to halt momentum with the knees or lower body. The head just goes straight down at a sickening angle that's as likely to whip the head back and break the neck as it is to crack the skull. And yet we've seen it so much that it's vintage Orton. Number 4, the sleeper hold. The sleeper hold. It's been around in the wrestling industry for decades, used by Ed the Strangler Lewis in the 30s, also perfected by Vern Gagne, Adrian Adonis, Roddy Piper, legends all. See, it can look limp, but it's really not about choking an opponent or restricting their flow of air. An effective sleeper hold is also a blood choke. It cuts off the carotid arteries and or the jugular, which leads to the brain being starved of oxygen. A well-applied sleeper can render a person unconscious in seconds, and if the brain remains oxy-hungry for too long, permanent irreversible brain damage occurs, and then, death. Number 3, the last ride. Powerbombs are scary, scary motherfuckers. Not only do you risk a Bob Holly special, i.e. being dropped onto your own neck, but when you come slamming down, if you and the bomber ain't properly trained, the head snaps back to the floor. Which is bad enough, But then consider The Undertaker's last ride. The dude is 6'10", and he lifts his opponent even further up. That's so much height and so much force potentially coming down on what is just a head. A basilar skull fracture can crush the hole in a skull where the spine goes, and in some cases, like poor Darren Drozdov, can cause severe trauma and paralysis. Droz took a botched running powerbomb from D'Lo Brown in 1999 and became a quadriplegic. 15 years later, he still doesn't have the use of his legs, and D'Lo Brown is nowhere near as tall as The Undertaker. Number 2, the Tombstone Piledriver. Just ask Steve Austin how fun a botched tombstone can be. The man was robbed of his key earning years after he got his neck severely compressed. Sure, that was just a sit-out version of the move, which is a pretty dumb variant, but even in the usual way, that's still just one slip from bringing someone's entire body weight down on top of their head. A depressed skull fracture can in terrible cases lead to brain herniation when pressure inside the skull builds up and then the brain just pops out, to say hello, followed by goodbye, I'm dead. But also the head is a lot harder than the neck. That's ripe for spinal trauma, compression fractures. Yeah, do not try this at home. And number 1, the Styles Clash. The Styles Clash, aka Broken Neck City bitch. See, with most high-impact wrestling moves, you tuck your chin. Pile drivers, powerbombs, suplexes, German or otherwise. You want that impact happening to your shoulders, not your neck. With the Styles Clash, it's the opposite. You tuck your chin, you done f***ed up. AJ stands there with his opponent upside down in his arms, which is already a little dangerous as Styles isn't all that tall, and their head gets awfully close to the ground, and then AJ falls forward. No tuck, it all goes well, and the move, to be honest, looks a little bit weak. Tuck the chin, and dear God, it's the worst thing you've ever seen. Yoshitatsu and British wrestler Lionheart broke their necks botching the Clash, and people who have been injured by it include Roderick Strong, Stevie Richards, and Frankie Kazarian, among others. It's never killed anyone, but in terms of danger, it's one of the most infamous moves on the planet. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.